Bradenton Beach. This is the southern end of Bradenton Beach. Literally nobody on the road right now. Smell the red tide. It's in my nose. It smells like dead fish. And I gotten really sick from the red tide recently. A lot of people have. The smell of dead fish here is unbearable on Bradenton Beach. Bad levels of red tide. I mean, the smell is just overwhelming. The smell of dead fish, it's bad. I kid you not. This is so bad, the smell, that as I sit here, my chest literally hurts. See, there's a large fish right over there. Just unbearable. It's certainly not enjoyable to be out here right now. It's an absolute mess of, the dead fish smell. The edge of the water so you guys can see how bad this red tide situation is. Obviously, you can't smell it through the phone, but it's pretty bad. You can feel it. You feel sinuses like hurting really bad. It basically smells like dead fish, but that smell causes breathing complications. It causes people who have asthma. My mouth feels dry, my throat's starting to hurt. You can see here there's sheep's head, mojaras, all that along the coast here. And they've been cleaning it up. They come through and they clean it up, so you're not seeing everything that's out here at this point. But they've found everything from large groupers. You see lots of sheep head here. You can see the flies everywhere. The thing about this situation is that FWC still hasn't published red tide levels for this area. In other words, FWC, Florida Wildlife Conservation, their map shows that there isn't red tide here. But obviously there's dead fish everywhere, so there is red tide. And this has misled a lot of people to think that we don't have a red tide situation. But if you come out here, you'll see that there's dead fish everywhere. And once you get in here, my goodness, it is just absolutely horrendous. The stench of dead fish everywhere. It is just horrendous. But the state of Florida, FWC, the Florida Wildlife Conservation, hasn't updated their red tide. The red tide map hasn't shown this, so officially this doesn't exist according to the state of Florida. You can see a large fish over here. It is just horrific, guys. Look at this. I don't know what that is right there. But it's horrific. It's so bad. Looks like a tuna or something. But yeah, it's bad. I mean, there's just dead fish out here for as far as the eye can see. But FWC has not acknowledged red tide samples for this area. So a lot of tourists are still coming over here because they don't know the red tide's present. A lot of people are saying it's fake news that there's red tide, trying to get tourists to continue to come over here. So despite the fact that we have a really clear red tide situation here, probably one of the worst fish kills that I've seen in Florida, a lot of people are going on the internet and saying that it is fake news, that it isn't real, and that FWC hasn't acknowledged red tide in this area. But all of that, you can clearly see we have red tide here. Now, I don't know why these people are doing this. I don't know if they have a financial interest, but it could be the hotels. Somebody, they're trying to cover up the fact that they don't want you to know there's red tide here. There is definitely red tide here. A lot of the business owners and a lot of government agencies are just trying to look the other way, trying to pretend that this isn't happening because it doesn't benefit them monetarily. So there's somewhat of a deception from a lot of people. If you look at the comment section of all my Redtide videos, they're saying it's not real, it's fake news. But here we are, and there's dead fish everywhere. Redtide here in Florida, pretend it's not happening, ignore that it's real, or just call it fake news and keep moving with business. You know, it's incredible how many people here didn't, you know, they're still here vacationing and on the beach despite how bad the red tide is. It's horrendous. The smell up here is so bad. I can't even put words to how bad it smells. But people are just pretending like it's not happening, pretending like it's not a big deal, and people are not being informed about this. So the FWC has not done testing. People here came to Florida completely unaware. We're on Anna Maria Island. This is Bradenton Beach here, and there are people here. There's more Amish people here than I've ever seen. I usually see a lot of Amish people in Sarasota, but less in Bradenton. But you're starting to see a lot of Amish here in Bradenton as well. So it seems like they've booked up just about everything in Sarasota, and there's more over this way, which is good. It's definitely an interesting thing to see on the beach. But let's see if we can find some dead fish here. Now, we were earlier in Bradenton Beach, way down that way, and the smell of red tide there was overwhelming. Here on Bradenton Beach, the smell is less. Not Bradenton Beach, Manatee Beach. Smell of dead fish is considerably less right here. Less than towards Bradenton Beach. So Manatee Beach seems a little bit clear, and you know, it's somewhat, you know, localized in a few spots. It isn't like every spot's gonna be the same. Some places are gonna have it more than others. Right here, I don't feel too sick.